watching that one. All right, this is interesting, guys. 49ers GM John Lynch, well, he admitted that he and head coach Kyle Shanahan did think about the idea of possibly pursuing Tom Brady in free agency. Lynch went on to say that Tom is an all-time great. You have to at least consider it. But then he went on to add that now more than ever, they believe Jimmy Garoppolo is the long-term answer for San Francisco. So, Shannon, do you have a problem with Lynch saying this, admitting it?
Skip, I'm surprised. Normally, general managers and front office people do not discuss internal conversations publicly. I don't know what compelled John to do this, but I think a lot of teams probably had this discussion, Skip, and probably looked at it as like, okay, long term, I mean, for the short term fix, yeah, this might be a good idea, but long term, we're trying to build this thing for the future, for the foreseeable future. And where we are is where we need to be. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo had a problem with it, Skip, for the simple fact, hell, he almost got a job the exact same way they were looking to replace him. Coach Belichick was looking to replace, how ironic would that have been, was looking to replace Brady with Jimmy Garoppolo. So, Skip, for me, I'm just surprised that he voiced this publicly because we don't normally see general managers or front office people discuss internal conversations publicly. But this goes to show, Skip, what happened to everybody wanted him? He was a must-have. We got to have him. Say, we talked about this for a day or two. And like, nah, we good. A lot of other teams did the exact same thing. You got to kick the tires, Skip.
No, they did not.
Yeah, they kicked the tires.
I got two major problems with this. And for the record, I love John Lynch, another former teammate of ours here at Fox. Great player. Mm-hmm. And I think he's turning into a great GM. But I think there, to your point, is a lesson to be learned here. I don't know where the win is in acknowledging this publicly. And the reason I have problems are, number one, the message that you're sending to not only Jimmy G, but to your team. Hey, everybody, we actually pondered for a day or two replacing Jimmy Garoppolo. Man, you can't do that to your quote-unquote franchise quarterback, especially after he went south in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. He went 3 of 8 with an interception as you blew a, 20-10 lead in the fourth quarter, mostly because of a Jimmy G who then missed Emmanuel Sanders wide open for a touchdown that could have, should have won the football game for San Francisco. So I got a problem with what you do to his confidence going forward or the team's confidence in him going forward. But here's my bigger problem. You acknowledged that you seriously considered bringing in Tom Brady and you didn't do it? Shannon, I'm on record. I tweeted during that fourth quarter, the 49ers would have won that game with Tom Brady at the controls, and they could win Super Bowls, plural, with Tom Brady the next 2 years back in his home area of the Bay Area, obviously, for the team that he grew up loving, the 49ers. So if you acknowledge that you seriously considered it, and then you say, and yet a couple days later, Kyle and I looked at each other like, you know what? We like Jimmy G. Don't tell me that, because you're telling me you could have had Tom Brady. And don't tell me that if you had gone to Tom and said, how about coming home for your last 2 years, that he wouldn't have done it, even over Tampa Bay's situation. You can't tell me that, because he does love him some 49ers. He grew up, going to games at Candlestick. Now they're playing south of that down in, as you know, in Santa Clara. But the point is, they have a terrific football team. They're still in the Fox bet. They're still one notch ahead of Tampa Bay in the third spot to Tampa Bay's fourth, where they're 12-1. Obviously, the Bucs have risen to 12-1 now that they added Gronkowski. But it would have been easy to get out from under Garoppolo's contract. It had an out clause that would allow you to get out from under him with very minimal penalty. So I've talked about it on the show constantly. I thought coming right out of the Super Bowl, they should have moved heaven and earth to get Tom to come home for his last 2 years. And I think the joke's going to be on them. And I can't wait for next year. I'm just hoping that let's just say the 49ers and Bucks meet in the NFC Championship game. I got Brady over Jimmy G. Thank you very much.
Jimmy G is going to take it down. Skip, here's the thing. You said you don't want Lynch doing that because if your quarterback goes south, well, if he goes south again like he went in that Super Bowl, they won't be pondering it. They'll be doing it. Kyle and John Lynch will be doing what they were pondering doing, and that's moving on for Jimmy Garoppolo, Skip. And look, this is not earth-shattering news. They're pondering all the positions. So Jimmy knows they're not just talking about him. Any chance they see they can upgrade and possibly get better, cheaper, that's what they're going to do. Because I don't know what Jimmy's going to wait, probably make $27, $28 million. That's probably what his cap hit might be less because they gave him a lot of money up front. So for me, Skip, look, like I said, I'm just shocked because I've never heard a team go public about internal discussions. And I don't know, and I agree with you, I don't know what to be gained from that. You think Jimmy's pleased with that, although he understands the business of it. And then, like what? You had an opportunity you possibly get Tom and you didn't. So you just subject yourself for criticism that you didn't need. There's going to be criticism enough. I don't think you should have subjected yourself to that type of criticism. But again, Skip, look, I guess this is the new age now, John, and they've been very open. It was broached to him that, reading an article a couple of weeks ago, Skip, that Coach Belichick offered Tom Brady originally, and Mr. Kraft shot that down. It's like, well, okay, I can't give you Tom. How about Jimmy? You want Jimmy for a second-round pick? And John and Kyle had like, hell yeah.
Okay, so let me put you on the spot with just a yes or no response. If you had a chance to take Brady for the next 2 years over Jimmy G, would you have done it if you were John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan?
No, not for the offense that Kyle's run. No. They need a mobile quarterback, and Tom is not mobile.
Big mistake. I still say, Shannon, that if you had Tom Brady coming home with that team, he's going to make more clutch plays. We just talked about how clutch he's been. More clutch plays than Jimmy G, who tends to unravel in the biggest moments in the biggest games.
Jimmy G got it this year. I'm not saying they're going to get back to the Super Bowl, but I believe he'll even play better than what he played last year.
All right. Enough there, guys. I want to talk a little bit more about MJ. How unprecedented was it for him to allow